the backup failure that destroyed a $2 million business. A construction company owner called me in a panic last March. His office computer crashed during tax season. His hard drive was completely dead. 17 years of QuickBooks data gone. Client contracts, vendor records, payroll history, bank reconciliations, all of it. And when I asked about his backup, he said, "I thought QuickBooks saved everything automatically." I'm Bev from bookkeepingcoach.net. In 30 years of bookkeeping, I've seen data destroy businesses that were otherwise thriving. And right now, in the middle of tax season, your data is more valuable than ever. Let me tell you what happened to his business and what it cost him. Let me walk you through exactly what happened, because some version of this is happening to businesses every single week. This guy ran a residential construction company, about $2 million a year in revenue. He'd been in business for 17 years, had a solid reputation, steady clients, a good crew. Business was doing well. He used QuickBooks Desktop, had it installed on one computer in his office. His bookkeeper came in twice a month, entered transactions, reconciled accounts, ran payroll, handled everything. It was a system that had worked for years. Then, last March, right in the middle of tax season, his computer wouldn't turn on. It was just dead. He took it to a repair shop. They told him the hard drive had failed, a complete mechanical failure. The data was unrecoverable. He called his bookkeeper. "Where's our backup?" She said she'd been saving a backup to a USB drive. But when they found the USB drive, the most recent backup on it was from 9 months earlier. She'd stopped doing regular backups because the computer kept giving her an error message and she didn't know how to fix it. So now he has a 9-month gap. Everything from June through March, gone. That's 9 months of transactions, invoices, payments, payroll records, bank reconciliations, and job costing data. All of it vanished. And here's where it gets really painful. His CPA needed his financials to file his business tax return. The filing deadline was 3 weeks away. Without current QuickBooks data, his CPA couldn't file. He had to request an extension, which meant he couldn't get his tax refund on time. A refund he was counting on to cover spring material purchases for 3 new jobs coming up. But that's just the beginning of the damage. He had to reconstruct 9 months of financial records. That meant pulling bank statements, credit card statements, going through emails for invoices, contacting vendors for payment records, recreating payroll records from pay stubs and bank transactions. His bookkeeper spent over 200 hours on reconstruction. At her rate, that cost him $12,000 in bookkeeping fees alone. His CPA charged an additional $4,500 for the extended engagement because now the tax preparation was 3 times more complicated with reconstructed records instead of clean QuickBooks reports. He missed payroll tax filing deadlines during the reconstruction. The IRS assessed penalties of $2,800 for late payroll tax deposits. The state assessed another $1,100. Because he couldn't produce accurate job costing reports, he underbid 2 projects during those months. He estimates he lost about $35,000 in profit on those jobs because he was guessing at his costs instead of working from real numbers. One of his best commercial clients asked for a detailed financial history as part of a contract renewal. He couldn't produce it. He lost $180,000 annual contract. And here's the number that keeps me up at night. When we added everything up, the reconstruction costs, the tax penalties, the underbid jobs, the lost contract, the CPA fees, the extension costs, the delayed refund impact, the total damage from that one hard drive failure was over $236,000. A $2 million business nearly destroyed because nobody was making sure backups were actually working. And the hard drive itself? A new one cost $85. A proper cloud backup solution would have cost him $30 a month. $30 a month versus $236,000 in losses. That's the math that makes me want to scream. So let's talk about why businesses are more vulnerable to data loss than they realize, and what actually needs to be in place to protect your financial data. First, let's talk about what can go wrong. Hard drive failure is the obvious one, but it's not even the most common. Here's what I see: ransomware attacks. A business opens the wrong email attachment, and suddenly all their files are encrypted. The attackers want $15,000 to unlock them. Even if you pay, there's no guarantee you get your data back. I had a client last year hit with ransomware. They lost 3 months of data because their backup was connected to the same network and got encrypted too. Accidental deletion: someone deletes the wrong file. Someone clears out old data thinking it's not needed. Someone's kid gets on the computer and starts clicking things. It happens more than you'd think. Software corruption: QuickBooks files can become corrupted. One day you can open QuickBooks and it says your file is damaged and you can't be opened. If you don't have a clean backup from before the corruption started, you're in trouble. Theft: laptops get stolen. Often office break-ins happen, and your only copy of QuickBooks is on that stolen device. Your data's gone and potentially in someone else's hands. Natural disasters: floods, fires, storms. If your computer and your backup drive are both in the same office and that office floods, you've lost everything. And here's the one nobody thinks about: employee sabotage. I've seen disgruntled employees delete QuickBooks files on their way out the door. I've seen bookkeepers who were committing fraud destroy the evidence by corrupting the backup files. Every single one of these scenarios is preventable with a proper backup and data security plan. Now let's talk about what most businesses actually have for backup. Usually it's one of these situations. They have no backup at all. They assume QuickBooks saves to the cloud or that their computer automatically backs up somewhere. It doesn't, not unless you specifically set it up that way. They have a USB drive backup that hasn't been updated in months. Someone started doing backups, got busy, and forgot. They back up to an external hard drive that sits right next to their computer. Great for hard drive failure, useless for fire, flood, theft, or ransomware. They use QuickBooks Online and assume Intuit handles the backup. Intuit does maintain servers, but if someone accidentally deletes transactions or your account gets compromised, that data can still be lost. They have some kind of backup, but they never tested it. They've never actually tried to restore from their backup to verify that it works. I can't tell you how many times someone thought they had a good backup, only to find out the files were corrupted or incomplete when they actually needed them. A backup you haven't tested is not a backup, it's a hope. And here's what a proper data security and backup plan actually includes. First, the 3-2-1 rule. You need 3 copies of data on 2 different types of storage with 1 copy stored off-site. This means your working copy on your computer, a local backup on an external drive, and a cloud backup stored somewhere else entirely. Second, automated scheduling. Backups should happen automatically, daily at a minimum. The moment you rely on a human to remember to do a backup, you've introduced a point of failure. Third, encryption. Your financial data contains social security numbers, bank account numbers, client information. If someone gets access to your backup, they have access to everything. Your backups need to be encrypted. Fourth, regular testing. At least once a quarter, you should actually restore from your backup to make sure that it works. A backup file that can't be restored is worthless. Fifth, access controls. Who has access to your QuickBooks file? Who has the password? Who can delete data? Who can export reports? If everyone in your office has admin access to your QuickBooks, your data is at risk. Sixth, a disaster recovery plan. If your computer dies tomorrow morning, how quickly can you be back up and running? Do you know exactly what steps to take? Do you know where your backup is and how to restore it? Do you have the software licenses you need to reinstall QuickBooks? There are 12 other data security elements I check in a full audit, but these 6 are the ones that prevent the catastrophic losses that I see most often. So what are your options? Well, option 1 is keep doing what you're doing and hope nothing goes wrong. Maybe your computer runs perfectly for another 5 years. Maybe nobody clicks a bad email link. Maybe there's never a flood or a fire. This is gambling with your entire business. Option 2, try to set up your own backup system. Google has some solutions. Buy an external drive, maybe sign up for a cloud service. This can work if you know what you're doing and you actually maintain it consistently. Most business owners start with great intentions and stop within a few months. Option 3, get the right training so you understand exactly how to protect your business data and set up systems that actually work. Stop guessing and start knowing. The worst option is knowing your data isn't protected and doing nothing about it. Tax season is when your data is most active, most valuable, and most vulnerable. Every transaction, every payroll run, every tax document, it's all sitting on a computer that could fail tomorrow. If this video made you realize you've got some gaps in how you're protecting your business data, I've got courses at bookkeepingcoach.net designed specifically for small business owners like you. Whether it's data security, QuickBooks setup, cleaning up your books, or making sure you're making costly mistakes you don't even know about. We've got training that walks you through it step by step. No jargon, no fluff, just practical knowledge from 30 years of working with businesses exactly like yours. Head over to bookkeepingcoach.net and check out what we offer. The link is in the description below. This is especially critical right now during tax season. You're generating more financial data right now than at any other time of the year. If something goes wrong this month, the damage is magnified. Your QuickBooks data represents every financial transaction your business has ever made. Every client, every invoice, every payment, every tax record. It's your financial history of your business. And most businesses are one hard drive failure, one ransomware email, or one disgruntled employee away from losing all of it. A proper backup costs less per month than most people spend on coffee. The cost of not having one can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't wait until you lose everything to wish you'd protected it. Subscribe to the channel for more QuickBooks and business protection tips. Head on over to bookkeepingcoach.net. The link is in the description. And find the right course for your business. I'll see you in the next video.